Dr. Ranney, emergency physician and the dean for the Yale School of Public Health. So, doctor, what are your thoughts on self-administered psychedelics?
Gosh, as a mom myself, taking self-administered psychedelics when I was caring for my kids would not be my first choice. We still know so little about the safety of these so-called microdoses. Most of the studies that have been done are administering them in clinical settings with close supervision, and we certainly don't know about the long-term effects. For moms who are facing that very normal stress and anxiety around childcare, especially as we come out of the COVID pandemic, I would advise talking to your doctor, getting a therapist, creating a friend group, if you can, getting some help with childcare before you turn to these unproven substances, which may be natural, but that doesn't mean that they're safe.
Well, I think that's so important to outline, and I really appreciate you highlighting that. What is your advice for mothers who are thinking about doing some microdosing?
I would honestly avoid microdosing while you are taking care of your kids. If you are feeling like you have a condition that may be treatable with microdosing, try to enter one of those clinical trials, or if you're in a state where psychedelic mushrooms are going to become legal, consider taking them in that supervised setting rather than experimenting on your own while you're home. Again, you can also look for safe and legal alternatives instead, things like antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications, or therapy, which works tremendously well and is available online.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. Turning to another topic we'd love to get your take on. Doctors are seeing more children and teens, especially girls, suffering from kidney stones. The increase has been particularly noticeable during the summer months. And this is significant because just 30 years ago, most of the people who suffered from the condition were middle-aged white men. So some speculate ultra-processed foods, increased use of antibiotics, and dehydration could be potential causes for the increase in pediatric cases. What do you believe may be contributing here?
This is another in a series of problems that we are seeing our youth confront in record rates. Autism, obesity, mental health problems, now kidney stones too. All things that our kids are dealing with in ways that we never had to as parents. It's too soon to know what exactly is causing this. We don't have great longitudinal studies to tell us what the factors are that are driving kids to get kidney stones earlier, but certainly those ultra-processed foods, lack of calcium intake, so not drinking enough milk, dehydration, not staying hydrated in general, and possibly climate change. Heat waves can also drive kidney stones. The last things that many of us are paying attention to is antibiotic overuse. There have been some studies suggesting that kids who take antibiotics are more likely to get kidney stones long term, which is yet another reason to avoid antibiotics for your kids if they don't need them.
All right. And one last headline we'd love to get your take on. The CDC says that drowning is the leading cause of death for children between the ages of 1 and 4. So over the last 3 decades, progress has been made in decreasing the amount of deaths. But now that progress seems to be plateauing. Racial disparities are also worsening when it comes to deaths. And according to CDC data, Black children between 5 and 9 years old are 2.6 times more likely to drown in swimming pools compared to white children. And disparities are also present for Asian and Pacific Islander, Hispanic and Native American and Alaska Native children. So, doctor, why do you believe the racial disparities in drownings are so pronounced?
Doesn't that statistic just break your heart? This is an absolutely preventable cause of death. And as many of us as parents know, drowning can happen in seconds. I myself had my son fall in a pool while I was watching him. If I hadn't been right next to him and able to jump in and swim myself, I may have lost him, despite my having every precaution in the world around him and around our presence at that pool. Which leads to why we think there may be racial disparities. We know that people who are Black and Hispanic are less likely to have learned to swim. They're more often using public pools. There are fewer lifeguards out right now than before. And so you have this series of almost a Swiss cheese model of problems that lead to a higher risk of drowning death. It's an absolutely tragic outcome. The Prevention is, of course, to have a four-sided pool, to not let your kid be near the water without you really keeping your eye on them.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.